This is Between Hook Sets. I'm Jason Walter from In Through the Outdoors with my partner in slime, Kurt Underhill from the Fishing Crew. Surprised you there, huh?
No, that's now my favorite one.
Except for that kind of looked like a shotgun, not a rifle.
Well, I mean, given with what I had to work with, at least I didn't go, because I'm sitting here going, well, I better back up so I can hook some. I'm like, we're shooting dogs.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
I don't know. We'll go back and see what it looked like. See if my timing was on. I don't know. Whatever. Well, hey, before we start, happy birthday to Carrie Conold. We had birthday tacos tonight. So if I accidentally burp, it's because I had tacos before we got here. So, just one of those things. Uncle Lou, how do you do?
Yeah. Well, we also have another birthday today.
Yeah. Are we going to? I mean, why not just bring that up right away? Right. So, boom.
He made it. He made 50, which is pretty impressive. Old Benny Spies.
Yeah,
he said prayer last night.
I had to just, but you showed me that the last second there. I'm like, okay, I got to do that. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, he was pretty pumped. He said a prayer last night before he went to bed just to pray, get up in the morning at 8:14 when he was born so he could say he made 50. But yeah, he's doing it.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, Carrie, I think Carrie's 50 as well. So we'll say 2 at 52. So just now explain this, because people who follow Benny or remember Gunnet, right? Will remember the toaster. For others, they're like, it's just a Winnebago thing, just sitting on a bar. But it's so much more than that.
Yeah, so the people that watched the show, that became a character in the show. It was called the Toaster. And they drove around the country and hunted out of that thing. 1973 Winnebago Brave. And it's sitting out at the Corco Ranch out at Anchor Cay at a good retirement home for it. But that was kind of like it was another character in the show, right? Like the for not being a person, it had a life of its own, and so he had that. And they went, when we had him on our show over a year ago. Yeah. Because we gave it to him last summer. Yeah. So we literally within days of the show coming out, you were at a thrift shop or an antique shop.
Arlington, South Dakota.
You sent me a picture of this Tonka truck Winnebago. And I don't think you'd probably walk by it every other time if we wouldn't have just had Benny on the show.
Okay, so I have a place in my heart for stuff like that. I would have stopped and looked at it and went, hey, that's pretty cool, but no way, nah, I don't need it. But yeah, but the fact that it was 75% the toaster, I'm like, I got to call Kurt, because I think Kurt's going to want this,
You sent me pictures of it, and I said, it's $150. I said, offer him 50, but pay whatever. And I think he got it for $50. We took it to our good buddy Travis at Chellick Signs, and I walked in with it, and I said, I need your help. And he knew right what to do. And Travis went so far above and beyond, he called the original graphics company to get the original stickers that went on the full-size one. And we had it for,
a long time. It's worth another look. Yeah, I mean, it's if you've ever seen the real one in person, the only thing that's missing is a little Benny inside.
Yeah, we at the 50th Gov Cup party, we gave it to him as a present, and now it sits in his shop on his shelf for everybody to see. So pretty neat.
Yeah, I've never given anything to anybody that the look on his face surprised me. I mean, I was just thinking he was like, oh, that's cool. But it meant a ton more. And that was cool. I mean, that brought giving to a whole new level.
Yeah, I mean, he literally took it home, sat down in his bar, and his kids, he's got a couple young kids, they came over, and he yells, don't touch it. You can only look at it. It's not a toy. And as he's clearing a spot, because I was leading up as we were at the shop. Every time you were there, he'd be doing something. And I'd be like, hey, you might want to leave a little extra room up there. I got him in. That's all I kept saying, because he did that like every time he has something for me. He tells me he's got something for me, but he won't tell me what it is until he can give it to me. So he's got to drop these like, yeah, I got something. I think you're going to like it. You're going to like it, you know? And so I had to do the same thing with him. And then we brought it in, and yeah, it's sitting next to the flag that got flown in Afghanistan for the Gun It show. So he says top tier, best gifts he's ever gotten. And we didn't expect that. It was pretty cool to be able to give him a gift like that.
It was monumental, kind of a once in a lifetime type of thing here. Let me pop that up so we make sure that we get that thing going there. Chad, good to have you on tonight. Now we'll make the rest of the night about you. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Okay. Well, actually, it's not completely about you. It's actually start this whole thing with the backstory on Randy.
Okay. Well, Randy was a state trapper for a lot of years here in South Dakota. I don't know exact numbers off the top of my head, but Randy was big into helping youth out, going and doing some of the, trapping seminars and helping with some of the shooting stuff around central South Dakota. And when he passed away in a car wreck with his wife, thoughts were, after that, a couple of us other coyote hunters were like, we got to put a coyote hunt in memory of Randy on. And that's how the contest come about. And then all the money that's raised with the contest goes back to the youth shooting groups here in central South Dakota.
So there's more to it. So Randy was obviously, like you said, our trapper. I never knew Randy, wasn't fortunate enough to meet the man. But being involved in the tournament as long as I have, you feel like a sense of like you get to know this guy. His kids come back. I mean, he's got 3 boys that live all over the country. A lot of years they all come back.
Yeah.
And they all come back in honor of their dad and their mom. Yeah. But mainly, the tournament's called the Randy Roede after their dad, and the community that gets behind it and stuff like that. And Chad started this with a few other guys. I got involved. We looked it up today. 8 years.
9 years. This will be 9 years.
9 years that this tournament's been going on. And Chad didn't just do a tournament when he designed it. I mean, it was designed to raise money for youth shooting sports. And all the sponsors that get behind it, that donate stuff or buy stuff or whatever to sell raffle tickets, and all that money goes back to the junior shooters, the trap teams, all these different things. And there's quite a bit of money that's been raised over the years to go back to these organizations. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and there's more to it. It's kind of like the Governor's Cup. I look at right. It's kind of like the Gov Cup, that it means so much to that community. Like this is their homecoming party. This is their family reunion, and people come to hunt this thing. I mean, it's been filmed before.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's such a cool thing. So, explain to us, like the people out there, because like I said, 90% of our listeners are probably fishermen, probably don't understand what a coyote tournament is. It's not crazy different than a walleye tournament, but explain to us how the tournament is set up, the parameters, and what's going on out there.
Okay, so this is a coyote calling contest. So these coyotes have to be called in. It's not just go out and drive around and shoot a coyote out of a pickup or something like that. You actually have to call the coyotes in and shoot them. This tournament is most coyotes killed. So the team that brings the most coyotes in, they're the team that ends up winning it. If there's a tie on numbers, we break it by weight, kind of like a fishing tournament. Every coyote's weighed across the scale. We have big dog category, little dog category. I mean, so that's where the fishing tournament style stuff comes in, is because they're all going on a scale, and then Kurt's running the scale just like he is in a fishing tournament.
Yeah. So, but the difference is these guys, one, it's daytime only, right? So there's no thermal, so people understand that. You have to start, like we had the rules meeting on Friday night. Once the rules meeting's over, they can go, if they want to drive to Brookings, South Dakota, they can take off after the rules meeting. They cannot hunt till sunlight. And they got to make all the sets. It's a 2-man team. You got to hunt together, so you can't split up and go different directions. Yep. And you know, a lot of things go into this. You know, when you design tournaments, as you know, Chasen, unfortunately, we got to design tournaments around how people can break rules, right?
Yeah, right.
And so it's not just like, oh yeah, go out. You know, for the most part, our coyote hunters and our fishermen are great people, but there's always going to be a bad apple, and we want to try to keep them guys at bay the best you can. So explain to us how that aspect of what we're not just counting the dogs and weighing them. Explain to us like what goes on in that aspect.
So, like, you mean like when they come into the scale?
Just how we're monitoring from people taking advantage of the system.
So we have each team's given tags that are numbered 1 through 10. If they kill more than one coyote, we got other procedures, or more than 10 coyotes, excuse me. We got procedures for that. But we have a tag they got to stick in the mouth, zip tie it in there, put time of death on. Then when that coyote, and then they got to take a video with a shake test showing that coyote's a legit shot coyote of that day. I mean, they're not going to shake if they're frozen and hard. So when they come into the scale, we write down the time of death, and then we temp every coyote gets temped, and then they go on the scale. And then I can break it down if we have something that's, we have something that tests hot and he was shot early in the morning, it's going to be fishy. Vice versa. If it's shot at 5 o'clock at night and it's temping what it should have been temping at, 7 o'clock in the morning, it's going to throw up a red flag.
Yeah. And so basically, obviously you can't put a parameter in that says this is what a dog at 8 o'clock in the morning temps at, this is what one at 9. It's all based on the day's temperature.
Yeah.
There's other aspects. If they're blown up, they might temp colder. So you got to look at different things. And so all these coyotes are, once they're laid out, they lay all the coyotes out in a row, and Chad's inspecting each one, making sure there's no snare marks. There's no, they weren't run over with anything. They weren't shotgunned, anything like that. Like, there's a lot of stuff that Chad's looking for. It's kind of like when we're bumping fish. People think we're just measuring. We're looking at a multiple levels of things when we're measuring those fish to make sure that it's fair for everybody. And then they're all temped. Well, then Emily, our boss,
that's for sure.
Our boss, she's running a spreadsheet in the back, and we can look across the board and say dogs at 8 o'clock are averaging, say it's like this weekend's gonna be cold.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna average 40. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Just say they average 40 degrees at an 8 a.m. dog, and all of a sudden we have one that's registering 20. That's a red flag. Now, we know what dog it is by the tag number. We can go out and look at it, and maybe the blood got on the tag, and we wrote it down at 8, and it was really a 3 p.m. dog. Or we can look at it and say, oh, it's blowing up. No wonder it's temping cold.
And if it comes down to it, I'll skin that coyote and check it out.
So what's the average body temperature of a coyote then? About 100, 99 to 101?
Yeah, I mean, they run like a canine, like a dog, any dog does, So you're running 100, you're running high hundreds, I'm not high, 109, something like that on a fresh coyote.
So then 20 degrees to 40 years, whatever. I've
never seen a coyote that was killed that just wouldn't happen. I mean, I'm going to say most of the time in the morning, they're going to be even over that 40 degree thing, where if they're killed at 8 o'clock in the morning, they're still going to be temping almost 60 degrees, they've
got that core temperature at 100 plus. It takes a long time, unless, like you said, if they're blown up, if that cavity's opened up and that cold air has a reason to get in there and get in there fast, I suppose it could cool it down rather quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and it's, and it goes down to how they, if they're running a side by side and they're stacking dogs on the top, the dog in the middle might stay a lot warmer than the dogs in the bottom or the top.
If they shot that first coyote at 8 o'clock in the morning, just say, and then they stacked 5 coyotes on top of that, coyote's not going to cool down like he should if he was spread out in the back of a pickup.
Yeah, I mean, and it's all depends on how they transport them, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But Chad, we keep all the coyotes. They don't get to keep their coyotes. No. So once they're killed, they're kept. Chad, if there's anything, he keeps them for a few days. We have a fur buyer. Unfortunately, fur's worth nothing.
Yep.
I mean, we would have to pay that guy money to come get coyotes this year.
Oh no.
There were absolutely not. There was one point a good coyote was selling for $100
on carcass. Yeah, I mean it wasn't very many years ago, and yeah, you're getting $100 for number one coyote. So
on a carcass, unpelted.
Which was great for this. Which was great for this tournament because every coyote we sold, and that money went to those kids too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So Chad keeps them. If there's anything that goes wrong with, if we have a questionable thing that happens, Chad will skin that coyote and start looking for different signs of stuff. And another thing is they have to put the block through the mouth and zip tie it shut.
Yep.
So it's coming through.
No, it's right through there.
Goes right behind the canines in the mouth, and then it's
and it clamps down to, so you can't slide off. So you're not cutting anything.
Once rigor mortis sets in, you ain't getting a tag in a coyote's mouth.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. If they're shot the night before or something, even if they laid them in the shop and kept the temps right, they're not getting our tag in the.
You're gonna have to break a jaw.
They're gonna have to break a jaw, and that's something he's gonna find right away when he's inspecting the coyotes. Yeah. So it's very well thought out. And
than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, and the zip tie goes around it. It comes in. I mean, we've had issues where fortunately nothing went wrong, but just a miscommunication in the past of, we're seeing your time, and then we look at the timestamp on the photos.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. So if me and Chad are hunting together, the first dog that shot, Chad has to be in that shake test video.
Oh, sure, right.
Dog that shot, and we make them turn the camera on themselves, so we see both guys together. We can see the timestamp to make sure it's matching up with the time that they put on the tag that they shot it.
Yeah.
So we're watching them things, and all the top teams have to send photos into us before we even give awards. So me and Chad are in the back room looking at dog one was shot at 10 a.m. I got dog one at 10 a.m. on photo.
That makes it damn hard to cheat.
Yeah.
I mean, like that.
It definitely puts some very good guidelines and boundaries into stuff. I mean, obviously, we all know people think of stupid shit.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah.
It's keeping the honest man honest, basically, right? I mean, that's the best we can do. It's like putting a padlock on your garage. If you really want in there, they're going to get in there.
Yeah, right. Right.
Well,
so now you get into the tournament here. There are some teams out there that I guess I would call them blue chippers. Does that blue chip? So when years ago, Terry McCutcheon, rodeo coach at SDSU, was bringing Joe Gunderson in from Agar. He's like, I got a blue chipper coming in. I got this guy. I mean, he is a for sure. So and Joe was, right.
Joe
and Scott Montague. I mean, the list of names goes on, man. The blue chippers. So you guys, you have teams that are better than others, but you get a really diverse bunch of group of hunters. Talk about some of the top teams, and maybe if I pop up this picture, maybe this tells the story.
Yeah, you can't see that plaque. Go back to see if you can see how many times their names are on that plaque, because it's a lot.
Yeah, there's 7 little plaque thingies there, right? So they're not on there all 7.
It's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to it. I mean, anybody can get in this contest, and anybody can get dogs. And it's one of those things, like, you might get big dog for the day, you might get little dog for the day.
Yeah, you only got to shoot one coyote, and you're in the running for that. You know, I mean,
and it's getting the sport out there. I mean, it's something that, honestly, we've talked over the last few years of starting the Predator Hunters Association. It's kind of a dying sport.
Yeah, in ways,
ways.
I mean, the tournament deal was kind of dying off. I mean, I still think there's plenty of people that go coyote hunting, but it's, there's thermaling now. There's you got guys running around shooting them on helicopters. It's not just the coyote callers anymore, or the old trappers doing it anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of changed on the people that are, the old school guys like Chad and Chad grew up with. I mean, he's a younger guy, but the guys he grew up with, I mean, when they walk in a room, they're a coyote hunter. Right. Like you can sit down at a bar and look at 10 guys and go, that guy's a true coyote hunter. Well,
you think about how we grew up, right? Because when I was a kid, I was all about fishing in the summer, and then Dad went duck and goose hunting with the guys that came from Minnesota and came from Wisconsin, and I never got to go, so I wanted to hunt even more, and I can't wait to hunt without Dad because he's hunting without me, and so then you get your ducks and your geese, and then it's like, well, now what the hell are we going to do? We can't ice fish. We can't coyotes. It was a natural progression, right? Yeah. To go from open water to ducks and geese, to doves, to ducks and geese and grouse and those upland things, and then snow came, and it was the progression. And I don't think we see that in a lot of kids anymore, because I think we have less farm kids, right? Yeah. Years ago, there used to be 3 small acres or 3 small farms on a quarter and a half. Now you've got one big farm on, especially out here, 10 to 30,000 acres. So,
yeah. And like me, I grew up with a dad that was, trapping as a side business. Trapping was his side business. So, he made another income in the wintertime trapping coyotes and other furs. So that's, how I got into it. And
Tyler said, no more Russian buyers. Yeah, there's a lot of things, like our old buyer. I remember running him into Sturgis. Our buyer, I shouldn't say our old buyer. We ran into him in Sturgis, and he's like, I got 2 years worth of coyotes put up, ready for sale. Like, I got him. He's got a baler. He's got them in a walk-in freezer, and he goes, I've got no outlet for them.
Yeah, see and then the slaughterhouse did with the horses. Think about that in the late 90s. Yeah. What happened to the price of a horse? It did us a favor. It eliminated 8,000 grade mares that everybody thought they had to get a baby out of, right? It took care of that, but it took a while for a decent saddle horse to have some value again. And so do you think the price of coyotes will come around again, or with the Russians gone
it'll trend back again someday. I just don't know when it will be. Like right now, a good skunk's worth $40 on a carcass.
Yeah.
See, now that's it. A skunk. But here, now I don't think people understand the value of a skunk either, right?
Yeah.
They're the glands, the smelly things for perfumes and blah 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 and all that. So there's more value in a skunk for internal parts that I didn't know and understand, but I learned them through the outdoors. And Mark, I'm trying to remember his the Weeby trap line guy. Mark, his last name's, it's right there on the tip of my tongue. I wonder if I can find it in my phone. It's probably gone, and I'm embarrassed that I can't spit out his name just like that, because that's kind of too bad. But I haven't talked to him. Mark Steck.
Okay.
Learned because Mark's a big trapper, muskrat, coyotes, everything. I'm thinking, and sorry if my wheels are spinning, because I haven't talked coyotes for over a year, maybe even. So I'm thinking about the weather with this up and down stuff. And now that I'm living in the country, I swear I'm hearing way more coyote activity than I have in, I've only been here for 3 months, in Mobridge for 3 months, but the last month or so, when the weather starts to get crappy, but then it gets nice again, kind of like it's supposed to be crappy this weekend, and then in the 40s to 50s again next week. Does that mess with coyote hunting? Does it make it easier? Does it make it harder?
Well, before you jump in, before when Chad got to my house tonight, he was looking at the weather, and so answer his question, explain what you were looking at with the weather.
So I was kind of looking at the weather days ahead of time before the contest. Excuse me. And it shows that we're going to be getting colder as we're going, but what was it? Tomorrow is supposed to be rainy and kind of snowy. That's probably going to shut the coyotes down for that day. They're not going to be out, and windy. And then the next, Friday is supposed to be windy, like 25 mile an hour winds, at least around here. I'm guessing it's going to be pretty cold out, and I'm guessing they're not going to be going real hard yet then. But Saturday morning, it looks like we got a little snow. Going to be 10 to 15, which 10 to 15 is perfect coyote calling wind for me. than most guys. I don't want it dead calm out either. But that 10 to 15 mile an hour, it's going to be cold. They might be held up in the morning, but I think in the afternoon it's going to be a coyote killing day.
Well, he's
Yeah,
in
'cause
one
we're supposed to get relatively nice and sunny.
go.
So you talk about no wind. Obviously, a wind is really kind of everybody's friend to a point, right? When you're, I guess unless you're bow hunting, maybe that I don't know, but we want a little wind when we're fishing for walleye, and so the coyote it adds an element of cover. Is that the right way to?
Yeah. So when you're walking in on a set, I mean, if it's super calm out, and let's say you got crunchy snow, I mean, they're going to hear you coming from a half mile away. If you're, if you got a little cover wind, they're not going to hear you as well. That's why we always like a little wind. We don't them calm days. They just don't seem to cooperate as good.
And you got to think about this and I've only done it a handful of times with Chad, and I'm definitely no expert on this, so I'll let Chad talk to it. But coyote's probably one of the more trickier animals to hunt.
Yeah. I keep telling guys. I mean, back when my dad took me out as a kid, let's just say late 80s, early 90s, coyotes have progressed since then because we're all taking out way more than what we used to go kill coyotes.
Back then, you're all hand calls.
100%. I mean, I didn't have a rangefinder. I didn't need it. If I shot a coyote past 200 yards, it didn't hardly happen. Now we're shooting at them 800 plus.
So you're looking 800 plus. You got to have a flat shooter. What's the caliber of choice? Is it same as any long range?
Well, a lot of guys in the coyote world, they're running either 6 millimeter. I'd say 6 millimeter Creed's pretty good right now. That's what I run. I know a lot of guys are running a 22 Creed right now, which is kind of a souped up 22 250. You run a little heavier bullet that has really good ballistics. And then 6 PRC. That's a whole horse of its own there. That's a kind of.
I mean, you can hunt them with anything, but if you get into that 300 and stuff like that, you're just going to blow them up.
Yeah. I mean, in a contest, you're not worried about wrecking hides, but
even not even that. I mean, like if it comes down to Chad shoots 14 dogs and Chase and you shoot 14 dogs, it comes to weight, and you got dogs blown up because you're shooting a big caliber rifle. You're
losing weight, right? Yeah, you're hurting yourself.
I mean, you can shoot it with a 300 if you want, but I wouldn't. I mean, 220 or 22 250, 223s, 243s. You used to shoot 280 Ackley at them.
I never used a 280 Ackley at them, but I always ran a 22 250 or a 25-06 is what I used to use.
So what are you running for grain then? Obviously lighter, right?
On my 6 millimeter Creedmoor right now, I'm running an 85 grain bullet, about 3,400 feet per second.
Okay.
It's just a little over that.
But these things, so when you're out there, I went and sat with Chad and Jason, you got to come down sometime with us and do it because you get a kick out of this thing. This guy will spot him 8 miles away, right over there. And I'm like, where?
Really?
And I mean, you can't talk like we're talking, and we're not yelling. You can't talk like we're talking ever in that set.
Oh, sure.
It's a whisper.
They hear everything, right?
I mean, it's a whisper. And then when Chad's like, if they come in, you got to, you do that noise to get my attention, which won't mess with the coyote. So there's a lot to it. And these things are using their nose. They're using their eyes. Mm-hmm. And they'll come in. You'll see them come down and draw, and they'll disappear. And next thing you know, they'll be behind you.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, there's no way they can get around us, but they'll get around you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a reason for the Wile E. Coyote, right? I mean, they are there. I watched a coyote parallel a herd of buffalo out in Custer, and it was amazing from both sides to watch the cows and how they started basically to circle, right? Mm-hmm. And then the bulls on the outer perimeter. I'm talking wrong, but even one bull did not like my pickup where it was either, and he started chasing me, and we had to hamstring in reverse quickly. It was really interesting, but the way the coyote, because I told my son, I said, look way up there. There is a coyote that is coming for these buffalo, and as they moved in that meadow, that pasture, that coyote paralleled them until he found the opening and came in, and then it was game on. And then it was so fun to watch. It's amazing. I've seen it with cows too in back home in eastern South Dakota. It is when you sit and look at nature and you take the time. And I like for you guys, when you're calling, if you're using, let's say you're using the wounded pup thing, right?
Yeah.
Just about, it doesn't matter whether it's male or female. They will come to help, won't they? No matter what.
They'll come to check it out anyways. I mean, depending on the time of year, what coyote, I mean, obviously in the fall, let's just say October, that September range, October, when the pups have been kicked out, they're usually never real far away from mom and dad, and that sound will bring you in. I mean, mom and dad will come check out to see if their pups aren't living with them anymore, but they still don't want them to be getting their butts kicked, And then, come breeding season, a male will come checking in thinking a female's getting, something happening,
Yeah, but I mean, the calling right now, you got all these fancy electronic calls and the sounds you have. And I mean, you got your new call we use and it's sitting out there rotating and it's doing all the, I mean, it's crazy what they can do with these calls nowadays. But if you use, let's just say, a dying rabbit, that might not be a good sound on a hot day, or so you got to kind of know, like, back in the day it was use a rabbit, use a rabbit call. Well, and when I first started, Chad, he's like, rabbit doesn't work around here. These things have heard every rabbit sound that there is, and they're going to run other directions. So go into the calling progression and what you're looking at, like on a cold day compared to a warm day or compared to different seasons.
Yeah. Well, I would say a lot of times it depends on season. And like you said, temperature does have something to do with it. If it's cold out and they're hungry, I explain it like they got to fuel the fireplace, right? They got to eat something. Now, whether it's you're using a cottontail distress, jackrabbit distress, or a rodent distress, you got to find out what they're like. I mean, they might have been called in by a rabbit distress before, not get shot, and they're educated to that. Then it might be a rodent distress that gets them. I don't ever try to use anything real challenging to them, like aggressive right away when I first started. So I usually ease my way into it. So, like even if I howl first, it's going to be a female howl. I'm not going to go with a dominant male because there might be a young coyote out there and he's not going to want to go over and check out. I mean, they're like any animal that they don't want to get hurt because they can't make their living if they're hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's interesting. I don't coyote hunt, but for anybody who's got any lick of common sense, I guess I would go when I went coyote hunting as a kid. It was always the rabbit, right? I mean, you just and you were aggressive.
I mean, back in the 90s.
Yeah,
it was a Cersei's rabbit, one that I could make a rabbit distress with, and then a howler. That was it.
And now you're all bleeding, and you're
sky's the limit.
If I remember right, when I was a kid, so in the 80s, would have been up through 85. The electronic call was illegal. Do you remember when they legalized that whole thing?
I don't remember. In fact, I mean, I remember when I remember if anybody had anything that was electric call, it was the old Johnny Stewart it had a cassette tape in it, and you had to
the speaker.
It might work when it's cold out. It might not.
Didn't it have? If I remember, did it have a tail on a flag or something? Something that
might have just been something somebody else added on. Yeah, but I remember it was a little speaker thing, and you had a cassette player, and you'd have to rewind it if you wanted to use that same sound, or if you flipped the tape over, you had different sounds on it. It was.
Well, because I know somewhere along the line, they must have made tapes because as kids we had CBs and we had PA, so you'd plop one in the cassette deck, and you'd use the PA, and there, some kids are like, hey, you can't do that. You can't, that's illegal. And well, whatever, and then I come to find out years ago, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, my former brother-in-law had the setup. I'm like, well, isn't this stuff illegal? Nope.
Yeah, I would say it's probably in the '90s when the Johnny Stewart come out. It might have been before that too. I don't know. We'd have to ask some guys a little older than me, but I'm sure my dad or a couple of them guys can answer it.
But yeah, see, so these guys that come in, I mean, it's kind of it's cool. You see them come in, they're getting their game plan. The guys you asked a question about the blue chippers. Yeah, we have guys that are very good and they're tough to compete with, but we've seen them stumble.
Oh yeah,
but
everybody stumbles.
It's ground. It's a lot of different factors that go into it. And these guys, I don't know if they hunt much other than coyotes.
No,
right? I mean,
no.
And like Chad, he's hunting coyote. I mean, I call him in the middle of summer. Yeah, I just made a set. If he gets a chance, he wants me and Kobe on a deer hunt one time. We're walking in, and he's got his binoculars on with his hand calls around his neck. We see a coyote, and it instantly turned from a deer hunt to a coyote hunt. Any hunt can become a coyote hunt with Chad Kiel. That's what you got to know. I mean, you could be out shooting doves and he sees a coyote. He's going to try to chirp it in close enough that 7.5 shot's going to kill that coyote.
If we accomplish that, we accomplish something.
Yeah, any tournament, any hunting trip can be turned into a coyote hunt pretty quick with Chad Kiel. But yeah, it's a cool sport. I wish more people would get in to try it and start learning these things. But it needs to be done. These coyotes, we're never gonna get rid of them.
No, they need to. I mean, any predator like that needs to be managed. That's for sure. Maybe not. I don't ever guess. I want to eradicate them, but they need to be managed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you could.
Gotta have them, right?
No,
I mean
they're the lions or the wolves or anything like that. They got to be kept in check.
The statement Chad always uses, and I'd say all that he said one time, or maybe said multiple times, and I've always used it. The last two things that'll walk this earth will be a cockroach and a coyote.
Yeah, right.
I mean, everything else can be gone, and those two things will be still roaming the earth.
Well, and I would guess that a coyote is as important to the ecosystem out there as anything. It's not like they're out there eating calves, right? They're eating mice, the rodents, and they're whatever.
Most of the time they're eating. I mean, they're an opportunistic predator. They, I mean, if it's laying there dead, they're going to eat it. If it's a calf on the ground that's been dead, they're going to eat it. It's a dead cow, they're going to eat it. That being said, a couple mice a day is what will keep a coyote alive, and that's way easier on them. They don't burn as many calories. That's what they're after more. And I mean, you get a lot of snow, they'll go after deer too. I mean, if you get like a 96, 97 winter when a deer can't hardly run around, it's pretty easy prey for them. But
yeah,
a good healthy deer is pretty hard for a coyote to take down by itself.
Well, you get a cow patty with corn in it, and they're eating that too, right?
100%. I mean, I've seen coyote turds on the ground that are have plum pits in them because they eat the plums, the wild plums.
Yeah,
I've seen chokecherry pits in them.
So I mean, they're opportunities. I mean, you'd have to be right. You live outside and you have to scavenge and find whatever you can to stay alive. They're going to eat anything they can. But I mean, it's so cool. Like when you're out there on a set and you're barking at one of these dogs or you're doing whatever, and they start playing back. If they're sounding off or if they're coming into you, that when they're coming into you is like your heart is pumping. Like you're like, here it is, here it is, here it is. Like, and then they hold up, and then you got to try to figure out why they're holding up or whatever else. And it is such a cool experience to get out there and do it. I mean, I recommend somebody. I mean, you can go get a call. You can buy a cheap. You can buy a cheap hand call, and you can buy a cheap electronic call. Get out there and practice.
Yeah. I mean, it's just get out and do it. I mean, there's plenty of YouTube videos out there guys can watch too. I mean, Cheyenne River Predator Hunter guys who are some of our really good coyote hunters, they got videos. You got Last Stand. There's plenty of videos to go watch.
Yeah.
So on a grassy, sunny day or snowy day, what do you prefer? Or I shouldn't say that. Snow on the ground, no snow on the ground.
So it's either no snow on the ground, completely no snow on the ground, or completely white, which what I like better. That spotty stuff, it's really hard to see them.
Oh, sure. I suppose. Yeah.
They come in, you you're seeing movement, but you lose them in them open spots, where the grass is, and then you got to pick them back up. Man, you lose them.
Well, yeah, I guess if you're glassing them at 800 yards away, right? Or
yeah.
so what's the average
quarter mile away or half mile away, and they're hitting those open spots of grass, and then you got draws in between there. They disappear. You lose them, and you hope you see them before they get in too close.
So
too close, they're gone pretty damn quick. They're gone 5 times faster than they were coming into you.
Yeah, your chance of making a mistake went way up.
have they had a good year? Because we were up by Ridgeview, out in we were deep into some of the farm ground out there along one of the draws.
Yep.
And I swear it was a wolf. Right. I mean, I'm just looking through the binoculars, and it turns its head. I'm like, whoa, it's a wolf. Well, Louis like, no, I don't look at it. It's close to the ground. So we definitely determined it was a coyote, but it's the biggest damn coyote I ever saw. I mean, the thing was just, are they fat or are they furry or what's their deal?
I mean, think about the conditions we had this year. We had really good rain. With good rain, everything does good. Like part of my job is the prairie dog bait program for the state of South Dakota. Prairie dogs did really good this year. There was guys that had prairie dog towns almost completely wiped out, and they had multiple litters this year because you had green grass all the way till we froze.
Sure.
Like even look at the pheasant population. Look how good that is. I mean, conditions were great. We didn't have hard winter last year. If there's enough food, those coyotes, and I was telling a guy today that if there's enough food, coyotes will control what they have for pups if they can raise them at all. If it's a drought and there's not much food there, they might, they can't raise their pups. They're not going to keep those pups alive, or they can only raise 2. They'll keep 2 alive and get rid of the other ones.
Really? So they'll run them off, or will they? One time I had a barn cat that I could tell that it was having cats. And I snuck up and I took a peek, and she took offense to that and started eating. She ate all 3 cats, 3 kittens.
They'll definitely dispatch ones that they can't support.
Yeah. So their big reason night, Randy Roede contest this weekend. Yep. Still time to get in.
Yep.
If the registration closes tonight online, but definitely reach out to Chad. Find all the information on the Predator Hunter Association website or the Predator Hunters Facebook page.
Yep.
Still time to get in. Looking mid 20s, low 30s for teams right now.
Yeah. Yep.
I know there's probably a few more still going to sign up. 2-man team. Go ahead and call them. Come in, call these coyotes. Come out and learn. I mean, if it's cheap entry fee, it's fun. Raises money for the kids. We got a 9mm donated by Delta.
Yep.
To give away. We have
a pellet grill donated by Sioux Nation, and then we have a cooler that's going to have a whole bunch of really good stuff in it. I mean, it's going to be, I was trying to guess the value on it. I haven't quite done all the numbers, but it's going to be probably over $1,000 worth of stuff in there.
Yeah, cooler. It's got
plus it's a Yeti cooler, which is
$400 cooler.
Yeah. Ben Doty with Whitetail Properties donated a cooler. Vortex threw stuff in. Travis Stevens with TS Customs threw stuff in. Yep. I mean, Runnings threw stuff in.
Teton River in Fort Pierre, they threw in some shooting gongs in there.
Yeah. So I mean, and then Okoboji Creek Designs, Chad the slave labor over here builds all that, or helps put it together. Doesn't build it all. Sorry, Em, if you're watching. There's going to be a women's package this year for chances to draw. So make sure you come support it. Come check out the weigh-ins, Grey Goose Motors, right by the Grey Goose store north of Pier. Weigh-ins, they can start weighing in at 5
o'clock to 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock on the dot. It's cut off. If you're not coming across the line by then, you're done. And then, like you said, 2-man team. But in this tournament, we do allow 1-man team. That guy has to hunt by himself all day long. There's no having 2 partners and one guy can't hunt till the afternoon. I mean, that guy has to hunt all day by himself if he chooses to do that. And we've had guys do that and do really well.
Yeah,
just hunting by themselves. I mean, I honestly wouldn't be afraid to go hunt by myself. I do it all the time.
Yeah,
right.
And then so get signed up for that. Still plenty of time to get signed up. The Randy Roede Memorial, great thing. Raise some money for these kids, but also there more stuff. The Predator Hunter Association. Go into the Predator Hunter Association a little bit with what we got going on there.
Okay, so what was it? 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
3 or 4 years ago,
we started the Predator Hunter Association. Kurt and I kind of got together and put our heads together, and we're like, what can we do to grow this? And we wanted to start some more coyote hunting tournaments, which we have done. We've got the Coyote Cup that's in February. But we wanted to set like a standard, on how we run coyote contests, and no different than like the fishing tournament world. We wanted to set more of a standard, have an association that, hopefully someday we can, grow, build out, go national with it. It'd be awesome.
So yeah, keep going. Yeah, it's so basically it's designed to do that, but also, eventually maybe look at lobbying stuff.
Yep.
Protect our hunting rights on these coyotes, right?
Yep.
I mean, they're like I said, we can't. I don't think we could ever eradicate them. I don't think we could, but we need to keep them in check, and we got to keep them. And we need more hunters to keep them things in check, big time.
Yep.
But something new that we're starting this year. Why don't you talk about our new thing we got going on that's going to extend us out of the coyote world a little bit?
Yep. So, we're gonna, and this season, which is the Black Hills Fire District Mountain Lion hunting season,
which starts in
at the end of the month here on the 26th of December, I believe. We are going to start a big cat contest this year, which will have a big male and a big female contest. With that contest, you enter it like any other contest on our website. You go on there, and it's going to launch as soon as the Randy Roede contest is over. The week after, it'll be a $25 entry fee to get in. You have to check. The state of South Dakota requires that you check your cat in within 48 hours of killing it anyway. So they do all the weighing on their scales. Mm-hmm. These guys will send in their certificate or their paper that they get from that GFP fills out. That's what we're going to use for the scale weights.
Yeah.
Like I said, and these coyotes are
coyotes.
Excuse me, mountain lions. I'm on cat hunt. I'm on coyote hunt here. These mountain lions, they have to be either boot hunted or called in coyotes. We're not allowing any hound hunted coyotes in here, or mountain lions. I'm going to keep calling them coyotes.
Yeah. So it's all boot hunted, tracking, or calling them in. Biggest cat, biggest female, biggest male. We're gonna have prize money for it. And what else do we have?
We got 2 buckles that we had designed by Sheridan Buckle Company out of New Mexico. They're really cool. They're really cool. And we joined up with the Black Hills Mountain Lion Hunter Association to do this too. We're doing it as kind of a co-association.
So somebody's going to walk away with the 2025/26.
It'll be the 26th. 26 year.
Yeah,
or 2026.
The 26 year biggest female and the 26 year biggest female or male and biggest female coyote, and some cash to go with
Mountain Lion. Mountain Lion. You
did it right on.
I knew what I was doing. I was just checking.
You could call it a puma if you wanted, couldn't you?
Yeah, so it's just something different. So if anybody out there that's listening is a guy gets a mountain lion tag. I mean, I know there's way more mountain lion tags that are sold than that are harvested.
Yes.
But if you're going to go hunt the Black Hills for $25 at your shot to win some cash, I mean, depending on how many people get in, it could pay really well.
Yeah.
It could pay for your whole trip out there. Plus, you're going to get a belt buckle. Regardless, you're getting a belt buckle to say you are the champion, that you shot the biggest cat, I almost said coyote, the biggest mountain lion in South Dakota, female and male, for the year.
Yeah.
So something very unique, something new to expand, to try to get more people to go out there and try to kind of see what we can find for big cats, because there's big cats shot every year.
They shoot 150 pound, a little over 150 pound cat, it seems like, every year. And on a male deal, I mean, the cat that I killed, and I think it was 2020 or 21, that cat was 130 pounds.
Really? So in the mountain lion world, is the male bigger than the female?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, a big female is going to be just over 100 pounds, and a 90-pound female is a good sized female, but you get to that 103, 109, 110-pound female. 110-pound female is a big female.
Yeah, and it's just going to be fun. And then coming up in February, we have the Coyote Cup, which is unique in itself because we allow 3-man teams to hunt that. So there's other tournaments out there that are 3-people teams, but one has to be a video camera.
Yeah.
So there's actually video hunts that go on out there, which takes the right gear, which takes the right type of people to do it. It's very hard. Chad's tried to hunt a couple coyote video tournaments, and we've talked about it because with all the podcast stuff we got, he's like, how do we keep this? How do we do this? Because I bought a Sony handheld and it froze up in the first hour. And so there's a lot of things behind that, which makes it hard. So in this tournament, we opened to the 3-man, the Coyote Cup. We opened to a 3-person team. So if the guys want to video their hunt, they can. Or they can have a third gunner. Or they can have a spotter. But you have a 3, or you can hunt with 2 people.
Yeah, minimum 2 people.
You can hunt with 3 guys. And that one, we went full fishing tournament. I couldn't not. You weigh your best 5.
No.
So your best 5 coyotes.
Your heaviest 5.
Heaviest 5 coyotes. We weigh your heaviest 5 in.
Yep. Yeah. We don't put them across the scale unless you have them picked out. That being said, we also in that tournament though we do have a bonus prize for the team that still shoots the most coyotes. I mean, I'm a little old school. The guy that goes out and kills. This last year it was 14 coyotes. It was the most coyotes in that tournament. I mean, they kicked butt that day. I mean, 14 coyotes. Then there was another team were up 13 in second place. That was and then my team killed 9 and another team killed 9. It was a pretty good day for killing coyotes.
Yeah. It was a pretty awesome day. And that's the thing, like the Roede tournament, we've seen it where 5 dogs have won it.
Yeah.
And we've seen it where what was our best? Like,
we had 3 teams coming with 10.
Yeah, 3 teams that came in. Didn't one year we have 15 coyotes, or was that the cup?
And that was the cup.
Yeah. I mean, we get guys 3 teams with 10 and 1 team with 9. That was our top 4 places, and it had to break by weight. Because when I first started helping Chad with it, I'm like, why do we need to weigh these things? There's never a tie. There's never, and then all of a sudden, boom, like we have all these coyotes, and I'm like, holy crap. Like we got a lot of, all these guys got 10. And that makes it fun. It's more like the fishing tournament because you don't know, right? If you got 14 coyotes and you only got 14 coyotes, you won the thing. Well, they don't know the weight until we walk up into that room because we write down each weight and Emily adds them up. The boss lady, she adds them up, and then she's like, Kurt, here you go. Here's this guy. This team with 10 got this much. They got second. They got third, and the team with 9 got 4. So it's I really like that, and that's why I like the 5 dog because you still got the most dogs to win. You got that pot to win, but you still nobody knows.
Yeah, and then the reason why we went with 5 dogs because I mean, if you go kill 5 coyotes in a day, you had a good day of calling coyotes. I mean, you go kill 10 coyotes in a day, you had an epic day of calling coyotes. But you kill 5 coyotes in a day, that's a good day of calling coyotes.
Yeah.
It's not just the 3 dog tournament where you got lucky and you went out and killed the right 3 dogs. I mean, you still got to go coyote hunting.
Shooting 10 dogs is like finding your 1800 silver penny or whatever you look for.
There you go.
Or catching that 15-pound walleye in Hawaii.
Trying to bring you into the conversation, Jason, so you understand. Got to go metal detecting and fishing so you understood the coyote world.
Oh, yeah. So a Merc, you could say a barber, you could say an Indian, you could say a buffalo. I mean, whatever it. That's it. No, you know what? I'm getting you there, Kurt. That's funny. That was pretty good. But it's been a good conversation. Look at that. We're cruising close to an hour here. That went by fast.
Yeah. So if anybody's out there, go ahead and sign up. Still time to get in. So registration, get in that contest. It's a lot of fun. Come with your kid, hunt it with your wife.
Yep. Get
out with somebody that's never done it before. Find some ground.
Yeah.
There be public grounds open in the contest. If you want to drive to Bison, South Dakota,
as long as you're in the boundaries of South Dakota and you got permission to hunt on that land, whether if it's private land, you gotta have permission. But it's all the whole boundaries of South Dakota is where you can hunt in this tournament.
So rules meeting gets over around 8:00. You can take off right then and go drive and sleep in your pickup on the edge of a field, or drive back to your house in Mobridge and go to sleep. Get up in the morning, go call them, and then you got to be checked in by 7 p.m. the next night.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
yeah, that's cool.
You got to make a couple trips to pier. That's about all you got to do, but it's pretty good time for that. So, and then come buy some raffle tickets. If you're in the community and you just want to come support, come buy some $10 raffle tickets for these kids shooting stuff. Very cool. Travis wrapped up the cooler. He wrapped up. I mean, he can never leave anything plain. We all know that. So
yeah, right on.
Right out for us for these kids and raise some money for the trap teams and keep our tradition, keep our heritage alive with the outdoors.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to pop this up real quick too, because we didn't say Chad's name too much, but I'm guessing most of the people watching already knew who Chad was anyway. So,
and then if anybody has any questions on the tournament, my phone number's on our website. They can reach out. I mean, I got my phone. Kurt knows how it is. You're running a contest, or a tournament, your phone's been ringing off the hook all week. So.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, let's throw this up quick too before we go. Happy birthday, Benny.
Happy birthday, Benny.
No doubt about it. Kerry Conal, happy birthday to you too there, buddy. Well, all right then. If you got nothing else, I enjoyed the daylights out of the conversation tonight. I had a ton of fun. So, but I don't have any more questions. What was that?
You learned a little bit, huh?
I learned. Oh yeah. Yeah. I love it when I learn.
So,
yeah.
Well, everybody have a good week. We'll see you next week and get signed up. Hopefully see you this weekend.
Yeah, I hope so. I've had so much fun. I'm going to go try to chase a road runner. All right. Merry Christmas, boys.